Hey guys, what's going on here today? It is No Life Just Slave, your favorite slave, here to bring you a video. It's been a while since I made a video, but this video is not just your typical video. Someone thinks I'm raiding. I did raid 4 factions in the past 2 days. Well, 2 factions, but twice. But that's not what we're here for today. Right now, you're just gonna see me grinding. You might hear me, or you might hear me mouse clicking. There it is. You might hear my mouse clicking. But today we're just talking about why our oh-so-beloved head admin, the one and only head admin named XxredgodxX, should be, no, not promoted, but demoted. There are plenty of reasons for this. We got a helper going off in chat. But we got plenty of reasons for this. Since day one I joined, he was pretty chill. He seemed to try to help a lot, but seemed to make the server a lot more worse than it really needed to be. Since I have actually started, which was probably 3 months ago by this time, he's managed to mess up the console 3 different times to where the servers had to be rolled back. Once on factions, twice on Skyblock, if I am counting correctly, and have been giving the correct information by my helper's mod and owner. But that's not the only reason you should really be demoted. There's also been a time where I was PvPing with a player on the server, and this was before I was a mod or helper or anything. This was before and the server's getting reloaded. I just want to make a video, dude. But I was just PvPing with a guy on the server, and that's the server IP right there, by the way, Minecart Factions, .mcnetwork.me. But we were just PvPing on the server in the Warp PvP, just a typical PvP fight. It was going fair each way. He had a better set than I did, but in the end I was pretty much winning, I'm pretty sure. But it got to the point to where he took off his god set and swapped it out with a normal armor set, which I obviously didn't notice. I was just PvPing him. But when I killed the guy, he wasn't, like, his god set had nearly full durability, and he didn't slash fix all or slash fix or anything like that, so he had never had the time to do that. Plus he was PvPing me the entire time. He wasn't running to fix or anything. So I went to ask around. I asked the owner if he did anything, like take it out of his inventory and fix it. He said no. I asked the head mod. He also said no. Obviously, they're both going to deny it. But it became very clear to me that the helper was not going to, or not the admin was not going to be fair for everyone, if anyone at all. But after that, it's been a while. You know, stuff's going by. We're just playing Skyblock now. It's a faction server, but we were just playing Skyblock, playing. Me and my island grinding out. I was actually solo at the time. We were using, I was using emerald blocks to get our value up because we had a silverfish conger, which dropped emeralds, so we had so many just to place. And when he apparently he was spectating me in Vanish or something, and he came out of, or he just messaged me saying, fast place, huh? Like those exact words. That's all he had to say, fast place, huh? And I was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, everybody's going to say that if they're hacking or not. But, and then he comes out of Vanish, has a hacked client on, and turns on his fly, and just places blocks using fast place up the pillar directly next to me. So that happened, and then the owner and the head admin decided to screen share me after that because I told them I was clean. They just screen shared me. I was obviously clean because I have not had a hacked client. So that all happened. What else? Just thinking, oh, his island value would always just spike massively, even if hasn't been on the server for a set amount of days. He'd come back on, island level, poof, go straight upward. Which also led me to believe abuse, obviously. Who the hell wouldn't think that? But that's not all. Our other current mod named Lots O Pixels, he's a great guy. He was also at his island at one point doing a casino or whatever, and then they also realized that he was in creative the entire time, never having to switch blocks he was using and whatnot. So that happened. Towards the end of the season, I had a god set on the server, which was amazing, and nobody was really able to kill me because I had said god set from grinding so much, like I am now. But I was using said god set in PvP, and the head admin decides to pull out my grinding sword from my PV, which he had copied because I had lost my god set a few times due to bugs and glitches and just flat out awfulness because the server was so laggy at the time because it's hosted, or it was hosted in Israel when I was American. So that's obviously going to cause a bit of ping problem, leading to things just disappearing in my inventory. I went to go search for it in my inventory because, yeah, things can go invisible and just be there because of ping. But that was not the case, so everything had just disappeared, and I obviously got it all refunded for what I had remembered. But we were PvPing, and he decided to go into my PV of stuff that he had just in case it were to happen again. And he took out my grinding sword and tried killing me with it when I was PvPing. And obviously, because he's using the wrong sword, he wasn't able to kill me, so I'm using the right god sword. I kill him with the god sword. And I noticed that's the exact same grinding sword I was using to grind earlier that day, just duplicated. So I pulled that up with the owner, which obviously didn't do anything. He said that would be like his last chance. Actually, he said it would be his last chance with the whole PvP session with Leonex, but he still hadn't been demoted from that time. And here we are on factions a couple months later, I want to say, 2 months or so, and just playing around, grinding normally with a sword, no enchants on it or anything, just grinding. And I stopped grinding for a minute because my finger gets tired, as everybody's finger does over time. And he starts grinding a little bit, and I'm picking up some of the... Yeah, and I'm realizing that I am getting a lot more XP from the grinder than I should have been getting because he has a abused in sword. Most likely abused in sword. I do not have proof that was abused in. But it definitely had Inquisitive on it, which is a enchant which boosts XP. But he had Inquisitive on it when he hadn't been on server for a while and we didn't have a grinder to grind on. So I was obviously skeptical there. I never brought it up with him. I never brought it up with anyone until just earlier today. But then also, same server, factions. Same guy as well, obviously. That's who this is revolving around the entirety of the time, right? XxredgodxX, right? So I'm on the server, I do /MC top to see where everyone's at. This guy's already at 2,000 fucking MCMMO levels by doing nothing, right? So like when I do MC top right now, obviously the owner's at 10,000 to test things, make sure there's no bugs and things like that, but we got Hippo, which is in my faction, we got myself, which is in my faction, because, yes. Random in our faction, there's the guy we're talking about. Don't know who he is, Lots is in our faction, and Badline's also in our faction. But this guy had 2,000 levels. He had 500 on axes, 500 on bows, 500 on archery, 500 on acrobatics, and 500 on unarmed. And this is before... Are these guys not stacking? No, they are. But that was before we even had a grinder to really grind any of that out on. So me being me and having to deal with him a lot in the past, I was like, hey, how do you have so much levels? Why are you abusing? Blah, 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 right? He's like, oh, I'm not abusing, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, how do you have 500 archery, 500 unarmed, and 500 axes before we even have a grinder set up? And he says that it was for testing, which is what the owner's meant to do, not him. So... And even if it were for testing, it would obviously have been removed, because he hadn't been on the server for 3 days before this happened, keep in mind. So it would have been removed. The owner, I don't know when the hell he's going to remove his, but it's only acrobatics, he'll remove it when he gets around to it. But I'm not too worried about him, because he doesn't really play, he just lives with another faction, which he is the owner of, but he doesn't really do anything. But, after all that, I ask him, he removes his archery levels, I believe, but he kept his unarmed... I'm actually making a video on why he should be demoted right now, Ethan. You'll see in a minute. But, he kept his unarmed axes and acro, which I'm not mad about. Acro's easy to get, unarmed's the quickest to get, and, axes, I'm already, like, level 3,000, I think. Let me do /MC top axes, not MC top axes. Nope, fuck that one up. /MC top axes, right? Okay, I'm level 2,221, which is because I have a custom enchant on my axe, which boosts the MCMMO gain, which I'm not going to say because I don't want enemies to get stronger and things like that. But, with that said, I doubt he had any of those. Man, it was perfectly level 500 for the most part. So that all happened. And there's a guy in our faction now, his name is Mr. Hippo, but he goes by the name of Fluid, and he was in the faction called Fluid. And, he was rated, obviously, what seems to be very obviously unfairly when you go and really look at it. just because of how everything was really lined up. When my serrated strikes wears off, I'll go check it out for you guys. But really dumb on just after looking at it and hearing that he was raided, obviously not legitimately. And I was myself mad, even though it's not my base. Well, obviously it can only be one of two people. It's either going to be Zaratli, which is on right now, or the oh so wonderful, who we all know and adore, head admin, XxredgodxX. But when we go to /home P, which is home P for home proof, and hop out of F5, this block was not there before the raid actually occurred. That was not there, and there was a cannon supposedly down there where those pillars are, and which is not bad when you originally look at it. But look, it was like a pea. It wasn't even a pea shooter cannon. It was one of those cannons where you just hand place the TNT, the booster, and hand place the TNT that actually blows up everything, the scatter. And like, it's not a cannon that would be able to raid a base, even if it were like this. Like, if there was one wall that get through, which when you go to look, that is the only wall that does not have water there. This wall has water there. The sand wall has water there. I assume this wall has water there. But this wall also has water there. This wall also has water there. But when you get here, you realize that the dry spots, which is right here, right here, when we go straight, and I will stay like this in this block right here, going straight the entirety of the time, aimed at another wall, which does not add up at all. You guys ended up getting into the base, which, yeah, left shooting, which they could have done, but the thing is it was not a cannon that was able to sand stack, guys. There were no sand pillars, there was no that to get into the base, right? The base is right there. This right? There's obviously no correlation there. And like, this base was not easy to get into. It was a neat looking base. Who rated like that? Whoever did, GG to them, because that obviously looks legitimate through a cannon. Because the base was not at world height, so anyone could really, if they really wanted to. But their base looks great. Like, they have a design going and everything, right? But when you come to our base, we don't have a design, we just have what you need. A grinder. Then when we come up here, we have obviously the AFK pool for the spawners, and we have the other grinders up there, which I'm not going to show off too much. You can see a little sneak peek of the IG grinder right there, but that's all you're going to get until I decide to do a base tour. But there's really no reason for that base rated when you really look at it and put 1 and 2 together, which is simple math. We're obviously not talking about math right now, but when you look at it, there's no way that a raid like that could have happened with a cannon like that, right? But that's all I can really think of off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure when I go to talk to the owner, the other mod, and all the other helpers that have had to deal with him for a while, there's obviously going to be more things that I missed. They're going to watch the video, they're going to be like, hey, you missed this, go at it, and I'll make a whole other video if I missed enough, right? Like, I don't care. I'll probably even just talk while doing who cares, right? But, so I think that's really going to cover it. I don't know if I missed anything off the top of my head, but I do know those are really the main things that I did have enough evidence on and actually stood out enough to actually mention to the owner himself. The owner hasn't really done anything about it. I'm pretty sure he's going to be demoted soon, and I might be looking forward to a promotion from mod to head mod, or whatever's next. I'm pretty sure it's head mod. With that all said, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to be here grinding for about another 30 minutes or so while the video is uploading itself, rendering, and all that bullshit. But this is No Life Just Slave, your favorite slave who does base work and all. See you guys all in the next one. Peace out.